Hello, intuitive friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you're watching this after the live stream, feel free to look down below in the description box where all the timestamps are there for you so you could quickly go to the section that is your sign. Now, remember, the signs that are posted there, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, number one, are individually time-stamped. That's number one. And always remember that whether you are a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that could be in any area on your astrological natal chart. It could be on your sun, moon, rising Venus, or any other placements on your astrological natal chart. That being said, let us begin today's live, focusing on what your no contact ex has come to realize after all has been said and done. Okay. That being said, we're going to start with Taurus. Then we're going to go with Virgo. Last but not least, I will channel messages for Capricorn. Hi, Taurus, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are a Taurus sun, moon, rising Venus, or however Taurus may show up on your astrological natal chart, then these messages are for you. And today I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on what your no contact ex has come to realize after all has been said and done. But first, my name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second degree Reiki practitioner as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, my credentials, scheduling a private reading, all that information is down below in the description box, in the chat. Actually, no, it's not in the chat. It's down below in the description box. By the way, I do live streams chat, so that's why I said that. But that being said, Taurus, let's take a look here at what your no contact ex may have left unsaid here. Now, remember, it doesn't matter who initiated the breakup, separation, or divorce, whether this was an ex, a past connection, a former spouse. Let's see what's coming through. What have they come to realize after all that has been said and done? Let's see what's coming through here. Taurus, your no contact ex has forgetting oneself. Now, what's interesting about this card that says forgetting oneself is the fact that half of this person's face has a mask with half of a crown, and the other half does not have a crown or kind of like a brooch crown, nor does it have a mask. So it's only like a partial. So what I do feel here, Taurus, what your no contact ex may have come to realize is the fact that there may have been things that they should have exposed, that they should have discussed, that they should have maybe even healed. Because when we look at this mask, it's towards the left side, which is very much connected to the past or recent past. So I feel that your no contact ex may have had situations, circumstances, or events, maybe leading or connected to family, breakdown of family. There were things here that they may have felt stuck in, but may not have shared with you. This no contact ex, I'm feeling there's something here related to ego. There's something here related to pride. And they may have masked ego or pride with self-confidence. Now, there's always that thin line between confidence and arrogance, or confidence and ego and pride. But there's a part of this no contact X here that they were very much focused on either their career, their finances, their stability. It could have been a very big focus here in regards to this no contact X. There were parts of themselves that they were able to freely discuss or share. But there were things here, and I feel these energies that I'm getting here towards the left could have been breakup, separation, or divorce that they may have had prior to your connection, or issues connected to family and their upbringing, their childhood. And it's as if it was very important for this no contact X to excel. So if this no, if they had this kind of drive to excel and be ambitious and focus on stability and security, which is all perfectly fine, that's positive. But I feel a lot of that stemmed from a feeling of insecurity or inadequacy in something connected to their past, or their own self-sabotaging thoughts or limited beliefs. Let's take a look here, Taurus. What have they come to realize after all has been said and done? It says, the card says forgetting oneself. And I feel that they may have wanted to forget a part of themselves. Like it was intentional, a coping mechanism. I'm also feeling here with forgetting oneself that this no contact X may have used unhealthy coping mechanisms in order to forget, in order to cope, in order to either forget the past or recent past, whatever connection that may be with, may be connected to. I feel that, look at that. They have poker face that just came out. Not showing hands. Yeah, poker face is the stoic energy. Now, this person may not have been stoic, but there was a part of them that, like I said, this part right here connected to the past or recent past, that they did not feel comfortable in sharing. This person, remember that I just mentioned vices here. I mentioned unhealthy coping mechanisms or vices. And sure enough, this is talking about gambling. Now, that's just one aspect. So they could have been very much into gambling, drinking, recreational, fill in the blank, whatever that may be. And I feel that that had a lot to do with them trying to forget a part of themselves where there was a lot of either insecurity or feeling of inadequacy. And it's funny because I'm getting as if this person may not have shown this. Like if you were to, like if someone were to see your no contact X, they wouldn't think that there could possibly be these internal struggles. Let's see what else is coming through for your no contact X. Actually, yes, there we go. Let's see what else is coming through. What have they come to realize after all has been said and done? What has your no contact X come to realize after all has been said and done? Have here life partner. Yeah. Wow. Taurus, this no contact acts. There was a lot of love here. There was a feeling, an outlook, an experience, a sense of synchronicity here that they felt with you. Whether it was effortless or whether it was a work in progress, there was a lot of love here for you, even if that may not have been shown in the love language that was understandable for you. Okay? Life partner says your romance is stable and ready to go the distance. And I feel that this person may have been struggling. This no contact ex may have gone through some type of struggle between what they wanted the world to see them as successful, ambitious, stable, versus vulnerabilities that they may have been struggling with. And again, coping mechanisms that perhaps weren't healthy, or they had a difficulty because it was a lack of moderation. What I'm feeling here with life purpose is there was here love and romance. It may have been a little bit different than what you may have perceived it as or understood it as. But I feel that this no contact acts saw you as a life partner. They saw you as a person that they can go the distance with. Now, here's the thing. There could have been multiple factors here for the breakup, separation, or divorce, whether it was you, Taurus, who decided to go in a different direction, or whether it was this no contact ex who decided to go in their direction. But what I feel is from the top of the reading, I talked about pride and ego. And I also mentioned an unhealthy coping mechanism, maybe gambling, drinking, recreational, fill in the blank, whatever that may be, or a lack of moderation here in something. And also this tug of war between their past, meaning could have been a past connection or could have been past childhood or family situations. But I feel that that may have been here, the tension that may have created here a breakup, separation, or divorce. Because they saw you as a life partner and ready to go the distance. But here's the thing. This energy is coming up as a person who wasn't fully healed in something. So their lack of taking the time to fully heal may have contributed to, like I said, the unhealthy coping mechanisms or the struggle, internal struggle, pride, ego, or things and memories from the past or recent past. And it's coming through as if this person may have been very ambitious, focused, driven, which, like I said at the top of the reading, are all positive qualities. But was it to mask something that was deeper? Right? Was it a coping? Is it a coping mechanism? Is this drive and ambition to focus on Sorry, let me just lift this up a little bit here. I see a lot of glare, and my apologies there. I'm trying to make sure that you guys don't have so much glare here. But all right, let's see what else is coming through. No contact X. What have they come to realize? Yeah, validation, confirmation. Exactly what the card that I was talking about earlier. There may have been layers of healing that this no contact X maybe didn't work on, maybe was trying to avoid, maybe didn't realize how, the strategies on how to bring something to a resolve or a resolution or a solution. And it's coming across as someone who, like I said, has not fully healed. So because they had not fully healed, there were still here some issues. And it was difficult for them to see things from a different point of view or a different perspective because of the lack of healing. And I said this at the top of the reading, where it came through very clearly that that could have been the wedge here that created this breakup, separation, or divorce. Although they did see you as a life partner, or whether they told you or not, whether this was a marriage, an engagement, a connection, an exclusive, seasoned connection, they did see you as a person that had the qualities here. Look at this. Let's see. Look at that. You see? I didn't even cut the deck. Girl with the snake and love. Validation, confirmation again. Girl with the snake. That struggle that I was talking about and that I picked up at the top of the reading. This says empath and narcissistic paradigm. This meaning the following, Taurus. You could have been the person here who was intuitive, the empath, maybe have, a more developed spirituality, a deeper sense of looking at things from maybe a spiritual or intuitive point, but also a very practical point, practical views, practical perspectives that may not have sat well with this individual. And the reason for that could have been the lack of healing that this person may have had, their inability to handle the coping mechanisms in a healthy way, or have a moderation in the way they coped with their own struggles that they didn't fully heal. It's like a wound that was still open. This says being charmed or used, enable, and boundaries. So it's as if these vices or struggles, internal struggles that they may have had, it was as if it was like wrapping around them in their mind or in their soul or in their being. It may have been a lot deeper. This person could have been suffering from depression. They could have had bouts of depression. But Poker Face is talking about someone who doesn't share those struggles easily. And I feel here what they have come to realize is that this breakup, separation, or divorce, whomever initiated it, has a lot more to do with them than it really did have to do with the connection itself. Okay? Remember, a person who's not fully healed. I'm sorry, guys. I have, I believe, a package coming in. Hold on one second. My apologies. When it's alive, man, you can't sidestep the the pauses. Sorry about that. So yeah, so I feel that there was this inner struggle here. And they've come to realize that a lot of this, even though they may have made it out to seem that it was you, it was their lack of, and I'll say this again, it was their lack of perspective because of the healing that really didn't take place as deeply as it should have. So there could have been here reoccurring patterns in their life, meaning the same thing that happened in one connection may have happened in the same way or in a similar fashion in another connection, where there was similarities here in a pattern because of this unhealed wound. They also have here love, and I mentioned this at the top of the reading when life partner came out, because I said that this person has deep feelings for you. Okay? They viewed you as someone who they loved unconditionally. They were attracted to. There was passion. So there was this seemingly tug of war here between their own internal struggles versus meeting you, Taurus. And this could have been very easily also a connection where it was the right partners, just not the right time. Okay? Let's see what else is coming through here. What have they realized after all was said and done? What has this no contact X realized? What they've come to realize after all has been said and done. There is a deep sense of reflection here. This person does reflect upon this meaningful connection that they had with you. And they've come to realize here that, and by the way, you may have challenged their perspective. You may have challenged their ideals. And instead of looking at it from a perspective of unconditional love, they may have seen it from an emotional standpoint because of that lack of healing. So this person could have been very easily triggered by your practical, down-to-earth, realistic, straight-up type of energy, Taurus. As a Taurus, you're an earth sign, stable, secure, very much connected to reality, to practicality, and to solutions. So if this person wasn't in a place where anyone else had challenged them, then your perspective of unconditional love and help may have been translated here in a very different way for this person. Last but not least, let's take a look here at what else is coming through in regards to this no contact X. And we have here, look at that. Like I said, this no contact ex had a lot of struggles, internal struggles that lived in their mind that they didn't share as easily, that they kept to themselves. So this Nine of Swords is talking about this person either having problems sleeping, having restless nights. This could also be that the coping mechanism here, the unhealthy coping mechanism, may have been triggered even more at nighttime. Because if you know anything about the Nine of Swords, in this deck, you don't see it that much. But in the traditional deck, you see someone on their bed with their hands in front of their face, and it's in all total darkness. So again, this person could think a lot at nighttime. They could be triggered by memories. Swords is all about memories. Yeah, look at that. The Devil card in tarot. What is the Devil card in tarot? It's about attachment. It's about lack of moderation. It's about old patterns, self-sabotaging thoughts, temptation, something in a way that they're stuck in, whether it's perspective, whether it's, again, an unhealthy coping mechanism. This was exactly what I talked about at the top of the reading. And listen carefully. There's no contact X. Okay? There's no contact X. Due to the fact that they, again, weren't fully healed. I mean, they have a lot of cards here that are very heavy. And the cards that are light are connected to you. They are connected to them seeing you as a life partner, feeling that there was a stable attraction, connection, romance, that there was unconditional love, perhaps here, again, because of your unique Taurus qualities. But all of this here is about their internal or external challenges. And with the Devil card, it's that they were, in a way, very much chained, stuck, or attached to something that they really didn't have a lot of control of because of the lack of healing, because these layers weren't healed before they met you. So what happens? The pattern continues. And again, this could have been a very beautiful connection in regards to matters of the heart, but it seems as if there was a lot here that this person was bringing into the connection with you that may have caused that breakup, separation, or divorce. So again, what they've come to realize is that their internal or external battles, struggles, whatever those were, and I mentioned a lot of those at the beginning of the reading. So if you missed that, go back. Because again, for some of you, this is alive. Go back to that and listen to that part. But in regards to you, they see you as a person who they definitely could have a stable life with, or some sense of long-term commitment or longevity. I just feel, like I said at the top of the reading, and I'm happy to see that all this was like confirmation validation. You, Taurus, may have your practicality, your realistic sense of resolution, okay, your stability, the way that you're able to communicate to just say, hey, listen, this is what I'm saying. Like being a straight shooter, that may have been a little bit difficult for this person to handle. That being said, Taurus, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up like, share, or subscribe to the channel so that I can see you guys again. Hopefully I get to see you guys in my live stream, because I do live streams for 5-minute readings. All right, that being said, we're going to jump into Virgo. Hi, Virgo, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are a Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or however Virgo may show up on your astrological natal chart, then these messages are for you. And today I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on your no contact ex. What have they come to realize after all has been said and done? But first, my name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second-degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, then take a look down below in the description box, where all the information and links are down below. That being said, let's take a look here, Virgo, at what your no contact ex may have come to realize after all has been said and done. Virgo, your no contact ex has masquerade. Interesting, very similar. They have masquerade and have bride in the cage. Yeah, there was something here. I'm getting several messages. Number one, this person could have had a difficult time figuring out if they wanted a commitment here, or there could have been a commitment issue here. Someone wanted a commitment, another person didn't want a commitment. However this may have gone, whether it was on your end or on their end. But I feel here, bride in a cage, there's this sense of someone feeling here that marriage or long-term commitment was stifling, like it kept them stuck, or that they would lose their freedom, okay, or their ability to do and move the way they wanted to do and move whatever it is that they wanted to do and move. You know what I mean? But that's how this is coming across. Now, I know it says bride, but it could also be bride in a cage, groom in a cage. The point is that bride and groom, however context that may be, it symbolizes a level of legal commitment or a sense of long-term type of commitment, where two people are promising each other something that is very deep and connecting to their connection. So whether it was here that perhaps you may have been married or engaged to your no contact ex, or whether it's that for others of you, this person may have felt that a long-term commitment or partnership was a bit stifling for them, was a bit of a challenge for them to be able to sustain. And I feel here it's because a stable, long-term, committed relationship, or whatever ingredients you, Virgo, were looking for in regards to a connection or a commitment, may have created this idea in their mind, which, by the way, could be true here, that they needed to step something up. Whether it was step up in regards to effort, consistency, whether it was stepping up in regards to planning and talking about the future. But there was something here, or some things in general, plural, okay, that this person was keeping in their mind, but was not sharing with you. This person on the card is looking towards my left-hand side, which is an indicator of the direction of the past or recent past. And because there's so much red here, red decorating thingamabobs here, on this person's, it's supposed to be like a hat, but it's coming across that this person may have felt that they lacked the stability in something, whether it was the emotional stability, mental stability, economic stability, career stability, family stability. I'm feeling there was a sense of imbalance here that they kept thinking about over and over again. They may not have shared those in-depth thoughts or those layers of what those fears may have been. Now, it might not have been a fear here for all of them. This is a general reading, but it is coming across as a higher level of commitment may have been a bit of a challenge for this person. Again, because it required them to step up to the plate. Okay? All right, let's see what else is coming through in regards to this no contact X, what they've come to realize after all has been said and done. I feel that this person, after all, by the way, I'm going to flip this deck over in a minute, but after all that has been said and done, I feel this person cheated themselves out of a great opportunity to connect long-term wise. Okay? They cheated themselves out of an experience because of the fact that they couldn't share their vulnerabilities, or they couldn't really uncover the foundation or the core of the why was a long-term commitment difficult, or why, again, it's like it's as if this person had to address things, and they felt like maybe they either lacked the maturity, the capacity, the tenacity, the discipline. Maybe it was because of how they saw and viewed the family construct in their childhood. But whatever this was, that weighed a lot heavily on this person's mind. And I feel that it created some sense of instability here. Now, let's jump into more details. And they have separation. Look at this. Uncertain future. There you go. And snake. All right, let's talk about this layer by layer. Number one, what they've come to realize is that they miss you. That's number one. They think about you still, even today. It may not be all the time, but I'll tell you this, when Mercury retrograde rolls around, and trust me, that rolls around different, times during the year. We're actually entering one today. It's either today or yesterday. July 17th, July 18th, Mercury went into retrograde, which means it's going against its normal flow in rotation. And usually what happens is we tend to think back on things, on connections, on situations, on projects, on things that we need to reflect and review on. And I feel that this person, no contact X, may get into that type of thinking from time to time. Now it says here the other woman. Now it could be the other woman, the other man. It could just be their freedom. But remember that I mentioned at the top of the reading that this person could very well have fears of long-term commitment due to the fact that groom or bride in the cage has come out for them. And there's something here of having to give up something, give up their fill in the blank, give up their freedom, give up, their bachelorette or bachelor life, their ability to come and go as they please, their independence. Let's see what else is coming through in regards to this no contact text. What else have they come to realize now that all has been said and done? Deception. All right. Deception has different layers. Layer number 1, again with the mask, validation, confirmation. Okay. Like I said, something that they didn't want to confront, something that they didn't want to share, their mind, their thoughts. But this is the second, actually 1, 2, 3. This is the third time this is coming out. This deception could have also been that this person this no contact ex, may have had other connections. There could have been other desires outside of this connection, whatever those desires may be or may have been. That could have been the wedge here that created this breakup, separation, or divorce. But this says here, someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. And what they have come to realize, look at that, I have proposal here. There could have been here again, and this is not the first time I'm showing it to you guys, but I just want you to see the connection here. Regardless whichever deck I pick up, it's giving you the same message. There was here some type of fear of being committed, of longevity, or of feeling stuck, feeling unable to grow or to move, or whatever this was for this person. And for some of them, it was just their inability to create a stable environment, a stable emotional environment, a stable maybe mental environment, a stable home, a stable connection. Proposal says your romance is about to evolve and level up. And I feel that this person has come to realize that they may have had issues with leveling up. Issues of them moving up, whether that could be in any area. It doesn't have to necessarily be in the connection. But there was a sense of being stuck and being unable to evolve. They may have wanted to, they may have felt like they really loved you, or that they were very much connected emotionally to this connection. For others here, it may have been a 3-party situation. There were here some sense of lack of transparency here in something related to either someone else, or remember, third parties could be a person, the other woman, the other man. But remember also that a third party could be external factors like friends, family, especially friends that are single or people that make comments. So, you're settling down, or you're, this person is controlling you now. Now you don't, things like that. Comments like that. And I feel what this person has come to realize is that this struggle, not only was the struggle very real to them, but this struggle here of being unable to level up or evolve you could have been the one that got away here, Virgo. because of this proposal. So some of you were this for some of you, you were actually engaged to this person. This person was engaged to you. Others of you, you were actually married to this person. It just, again, ended in divorce. And for others of you, there was, a fear here that this person may have had on leveling up and evolving. And again, it's as if that type of long-term evolution, it would require them to have to take off the mask. It would require this person to have to find a resolution or stability in whatever it is that they may seem a little bit imbalanced of. So if it's career, right? If this person wasn't fulfilled in their career, or they then getting into a connection, they're not going to be fulfilled in the connection either, because they're truly not living their life purpose in their career or in their job. If they're not happy in or they're not satisfied in their career. Okay. And again, that's just one example. Another example could be if this person wasn't stable in their finances, then they're going to be a little bit kind of feeling rocky there, because they're like, wow, I don't have what it takes in order to provide the stability here. Maybe they couldn't do that for themselves, let alone for someone else. Maybe the stability had nothing to do with tangible resources. Maybe it's emotional. Maybe it's like, oh, I don't see myself being a parent, or I don't see myself being a wife or being a husband. See? So let's see what else is coming through in regards to this no contact ex, what they've come to realize. Had difficulty with communication. Masquerade. They spoke, they shared, they listened, but there may have been here a struggle to communicate the layers of their sadness, or the layers of their uncertainty, or the layers here of the false mask, the false self mask that they may have had. And this may have impacted you. Yeah. See, they've realized that communicating, that's what they've come to realize, that the communication here wasn't in as stable as it should have been in order for them to share or to find a resolution or work together as a couple or partners here in order to evolve. All right. Ooh, look what just literally dropped from the deck. Runner. There we go. All right. The runner chaser dynamic, before I even read what's here. The runner chaser dynamic, the one who does the chasing, and that could have been a dynamic here in this connection. It could have been a runner chaser dynamic here. Chasing is a person's fear of abandonment. Therefore, they need to feel like they're always running after or making sure that there's this level of security in their connection, because they're afraid of being left. They're afraid of being abandoned. The runner energy is a person who is moving away. They have a fear of intimacy, fear of connection, fear of that vulnerability that happens within a connection, or their lack of coping mechanisms when they need to talk about something and share something. So people who have a difficulty with communication will always have a struggle in any relationship. It's not going to be just the relationship they had with you, Virgo. It's going to be a relationship straight across. It's going to be a pattern that is not going to be able to heal until they face what's going on. And this person they've come to realize, after all has been said and done, that there was either a fear of abandonment or a fear of intimacy. And because, look at this, and because in some cases here, like I said, this is a general reading, but remember, bride in a cage or groom in a cage is talking about someone who may be fearing commitment. Because again, is a fear of intimacy. Now, again, it could have been either or. It could have been they could have been the runner or the chaser. But in those dynamics, we're still talking about one key common denominator, and that is fear. The fear of fill in the blank. So this person has come to realize that their fears may have sabotaged their connection with you, Virgo, and the possibility of something stable and long term. And you may have been here, Virgo, the one that got away in regards to this connection or this no contact acts. And I feel that there is this realization that after all has been said and done, there may have been things here, Virgo, that you communicated that made or guided this person to think deeper. So maybe during an argument, during a discussion, during fill in the blank, your communication, because remember, Virgo, you have the ability to really look at things. The Hermit card in Tarot rules, Virgo rules the Hermit card in Tarot. So you do have this introspection and this soul searching of getting down to the nitty gritty of something, of people, of situations, of creating order and organization. Virgo, you analyze, you realize. There's a sense of practicality because you're an earth sign, that you're able to use that practicality and define or fine tune it so that something could be more structured or more organized or make sense. That could have been a lot here for this person who maybe was even lying to themselves. See? So I feel here there were things that you may have said that may have, ding, 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 ding. Something went off in their head. But it was after the fact. Look at that. I told you that this person had deep-seated, I was going to say deep-seated connection, but a deep-seated sense of love here for you. King of Cups. Someone that may seem very calm, cool, collected, a little bit quiet or reserved in expressing or saying, communicating their depth of love, but still feels it, still is that nurturer. And after all that has been said and done here, see, Six of Swords running away. Again, the runner. Six of Swords is someone who, if they feel that they have a lot of overload or something that needs to, they just drop and go. They drop and they keep moving. That may have been this person's MO. That may have been the reason here why this connection, separation, or divorce may have occurred, is this person may have had a tendency to be extremely reclusive. Silent treatment. Not talking about things, giving the cold shoulder. But because the King of Cups has come out here, Virgo, it's coming across as this realization that this person may have had. And I want to say that that was the card that was, wait, hold on. That was right behind here. Yeah, see? That was the card that was right behind communication. What they came to realize here, Virgo, is that their level of emotional maturity or their emotional intelligence wasn't where it needed to be at the time this connection was. Now, remember, maturity has nothing to do with age at all. You can have a younger person, chronologically younger person, who is super wise and super mature. Let me give you an example here. of a connection, right? That has an age gap, right? Nick Jonas. He's 10 years younger than, what's her name? Priyanka Chopra. He's younger, but he comes across as a person who's really mature. Because in order to have someone as a partner who's 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, whatever, older, there needs to be a level of maturity, wisdom, and all that. And again, that has nothing to do with age. So this person could have realized that they are in a level of maturity now and a level of experience now that may be the reason that this separation, breakup, or divorce, when it occurred, it made them realize that they needed to step up. They needed to level up. It just happened to be that in this leveling up and stepping up, they had to do it on their own and by themselves because it was something that they needed to work on themselves and change on their own and think about on their own and figure out on their own and develop a sense of certainty and a sense of stability in their life in order to feel like, yeah, now I can come into a connection as the queen or the king of cups. That being said, Virgo, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, or subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell. So whenever I post new content or when I do a live stream, which I do often, you are in the know that that you are able to participate. Okay, especially those live readings, they get packed very, very quickly. Okay, Virgo. Thank you so much. And up next, last but not least, we have Capricorn. For those of you who are watching the channel, welcome. My name is Lexa Tarot. Thank you so much for joining. Today, I am doing a live focusing on no contact exes. And for those of you that are watching, listen, if you like the reading and you like what you're watching, what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, well, listen, just subscribe to the channel. That gives you an opportunity to also take part in the 5-minute live streams that I do on a weekly basis, focusing on different topics that I bring up. And my subscribers have an opportunity to actually get a free live reading. It's a 5-minute reading, but a lot comes through in 5 minutes. Okay. So that being said, I hope that you join us there as well. Up next, we have Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or however Capricorn may show up on your astrological natal chart, then these messages are for you. And today I am focusing on and channeling messages focusing on no contact X, what they have come to realize after all has been said and done. But first, my name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second-degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, my credentials, then look down below in the description box where all my information is down below, as well as the links. That being said, for those of you who are my subscribers, my new viewers and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. As you know, these are all free channeled messages. Feel free to share my YouTube channel link with like-minded souls or people that you feel may benefit from the content on my channel, as well as the live streams. All right, let's take a look here, Capricorn, what your no contact ex has realized now, or what they've come to realize after all that has been said and done. Okay, so it doesn't matter who decided to have the breakup, separation, or divorce, or who decided to part ways, or, you know, any of that. But we'll see what comes through here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Let me just, there we go. All right, let's see what's coming through here, Capricorn, in regards to this no contact ex. They have here the child I was meant to be, along with artificial heart in the back. And it's interesting because I haven't looked at the last, the back of the, when I pull it out, I wasn't looking at the card after. But in this case, I'm being called to look at it. So there's something here very much connected to that second card. All right. The child that was meant to be. Capricorn, this person, and it's interesting, all the earth elements have the same similar, I should say, message in regards to a partner with, childhood issues or things of that nature. But all right, so in this case here, Capricorn, this could have been a no contact ex where there may have been a lot of past wounds here. There may be, again, some childhood trauma, some family issues, family connections. There could have been, it's interesting because I'm getting someone who may have like either lost their parents here at a very early age. And it's as if they needed to grow up on their by themselves. Not that they obviously grew up by themselves, but there was a lack of this parental. And even if the parents were there was something here about a huge disconnect between affection, and it's as if the parents weren't able to parent because there were a lot of things here very much connected to their own struggles. So there is this energy here, Capricorn, of this person having very much deep-rooted issues with family. Because I'm getting the tree representing family here. This could also be representing their childhood. So there could have been something here within their childhood that impacted the way that they viewed connections as they grew older. The second message that I'm getting, and these two messages could be connected, but also these two messages could be two different just descriptions and characteristics and personalities, okay? So for the first one, like I said, childhood, family situations here, lack of a parental either role or nurture here. I feel this person could also have something here with identity, an identity crisis, identity issues, not being accepted in one group, not being accepted in another group. That's coming through very heavily here with the child that was meant to be. With artificial heart here, which is, again, a different card, which could be connected or separate. Take it as it may resonate here. But there's this sense of this person being very much connected to their head, their thoughts. Maybe even coming across as robotic. And not so much because they're robotic, but because there's a lack of emotion. There's a detachment here of emotions that could have been perceived as a detachment of emotions. Maybe this person did really care a lot. Maybe they wore their heart on their sleeve, but it was underneath the armor. You know what I mean? So that's how this is coming across. Artificial heart is about a person who gets stuck in their head. There could have been here kind of episodes or brief instances where this person was going through analysis paralysis. They're so caught up in their head, or they dissect every little thing and kind of they see it from another point of view or another perspective. There's something in regards to artificial heart of a situation, circumstance, event, and or environment that this person may have been, whether this was in a past connection or whether this was in their childhood or in their family, where they learned how to develop a very thick skin. And although it may have been useful as a coping mechanism when they were using it at that point in time in the past or recent past, it may not have suited them well in this connection with you, Capricorn. It may have come across a little bit too icy, too emotionally detached. Okay. It may have been very intelligent in something or skilled in something, but when it came to matters of their heart, it's coming across a little bit too much in their head or too much overthinking. Let's see what else is coming through. The Chaser. Interesting, by the way, Capricorn, because Virgo had the Runner in their spread. So who knows? Maybe you have Virgo in other placements. Now, although it says Chaser, I address both tendencies because this person could have had the Chaser dynamic or the Runner dynamic. And I'm going to explain both. See? All rooted in self-sabotaging thoughts or limited beliefs. This no contact acts, what they've come to realize is that they have a pattern or a codependent pattern focusing either on the chaser dynamic or on the runner dynamic. I'm going to talk about the chaser first because that's the first one that popped up. This person may have a fear of abandonment. And because they have a fear of abandonment, they may chase or be jealous or overprotective or micromanaging. All those are checkpoints there or red flags of someone who may have fear of abandonment. They're afraid to be left. They're afraid to be left behind or not loved. And remember that I said here at the top of the reading, there could have been a dynamic here when this person was younger where they felt like they didn't belong here, they didn't belong there. This person could have had, like I said, their parents could have been absent. So this could have been someone who may have been adopted. There may have been, this person could have lived in an orphanage. There could have been some type of dynamic there in regards to that. Maybe, one of the parents may have left. Okay, maybe both left. I don't know. Maybe even the one that remained wasn't just able to give the attention and the love in the way that a child needed to have it. Like hugs, kisses, support, things like that. It may have been a very much of a rough childhood or very icy in, hey, don't cry. Don't show your feelings. Remember, you got to be tough. The world is tough out there. That type of mentality or script. So this chaser dynamic is talking about this person, perhaps now, after all has been said and done, realizing that they may have had a fear of abandonment, or in the runner dynamic, it's the opposite. It's the runner is the person who's running away, and the one who's running away, their fear is a fear of intimacy. So it's difficult for them to be vulnerable, or difficult for them to show their emotions, or difficult for them to, get out of their head and get into their heart. Whichever the dynamic that this person may have been in, they realize that that could have been a factor here in the breakup, separation, or divorce. They have here mirroring each other, self-reflection, introspection, and inner wounds. Again, you may have been the type of person here, Capricorn. And it's funny because Taurus and Virgo got the same message. It's like your ability to be practical, stable, secure, and straightforward may have placed again, symbolically, a mirror in front of this person's personality, description, the way the way that, the way that they are, and it may have been a little bit too much for this person. So much so that it was difficult for them to see your unconditional love as maybe you showing or talking about those wounds. It may have been picked up here as them putting up an iron curtain, an armor. Okay. I feel that there's this sense of having a very tough exterior here for this person. And although on the outside I may have seen like a tough exterior, in their heart, it's just a person who really just needed to learn to accept love, but also love themselves in the process. Because again, there could have been a dynamic here where there's no contact X, could have been fearing abandonment or could have been fearing intimacy. Again, the runner chaser dynamic. And I feel that maybe through conversations, arguments, discussions, you may have shown, right? There's this light that came through, this clarity that came through, this revelation that came through. That was a little bit, maybe at times, too much for them. And they may have been a little bit more reclusive, quiet, withdrawn. Okay. So let's see what else is coming through for this no contact X, what they may have come to realize after all that was said and done. Let's see what else is coming through. There's a lot of realizations here that this person may have come towards after this breakup, separation, or divorce, but I feel it's because you really illuminated, you brought a sense of clarity. And even if it hurt, there was something here that needed to be said and needed to be addressed, and I feel that you did that. And let's see what else. No contact X here, Capricorn. What was left unsaid? I'm so sorry. That is not the topic. The topic is what I don't know, maybe it's something that they left unsaid. But the topic here is focusing on what they have come to realize. They have an unrequited love. Now, let me talk about this and reconciliation. Let me talk about this because I got this at the top of the reading with the child that I was meant to be. And I said, this person in their childhood could have potentially not received the love, the unconditional love from their parents. This person could have been adopted. They could have felt disconnected from a family. They could have not felt accepted in one group nor in another group. So again, unrequited love is coming across as even more of this, the child that was meant to be. It's giving more energy in regards to that. So that's number one. Number two, this says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And how this is energetically translating to me is a person who was unable to accept or receive love because they had a difficult time here loving themselves. So when you are unable to love yourself, not in a selfish way, I'm talking about in a healthy way. In a healthy way, you're able to give as well as receive. You're able to give and receive in a healthy manner. And I feel this unrequited love due to the fact that there were here either abandonment issues, intimacy issues, breakdown of family here. Maybe a parent passed away. Maybe both parents passed away. Maybe someone else was raising them. Maybe they learned through other connections that they couldn't be so giving or so loving because maybe they would be taken advantage of, and maybe they were taken advantage of at some point in time. And their mechanism, their coping mechanism may have been trying to not show as much love and compassion because of a fear of, being either viewed as weak or being viewed as someone who was, too nice. So unrequited love here could be talking about that dynamic here. They also have reconciliation. It says someone from your past is returning to your life. And there could have been here moments of coming together, like breaking up and getting back together, breaking up and getting back together. That could have been that type of dynamic. Again, going back to the runner chaser dynamic here. Let's see what else is coming through in regards to this no contact decks. What may have been left. I keep going in another direction here with your what they've come to realize. I don't know why it's coming across as like what they may have left unsaid. I don't know. Maybe a lot of these things were left unsaid because I'm like channeling that title so easy. By the way, I have done that title on my channel, but maybe there was just a lot of things I didn't say. A lot of heavy burdens that they've been carrying in their heart and in their mind. Very interesting, Capricorn. By the way, I've been doing this for all the signs and it hasn't happened. Mystery, camouflaging, not showing. Maybe not showing how much they love, they care. Mystery, masquerade, feeling like they couldn't show their vulnerabilities. Like I said over here, there could have been this sense of hiding their emotions, hiding their thoughts, turning a blind eye on something. The Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper here for this middle part, it says the relationship is over, no second chances, grow and transform your life. And this person, whether it was that they chose to break up the connection or whether it was you, Capricorn, who decided to break up the connection, there was this very kind of like, it's dead, done, and over with. Whomever decided to do that, okay, just take it as it may resonate. But I feel that this may have been, like I mentioned earlier, because there were some truths, some clarity, some illumination that you, Capricorn, may have shared with them, may have spoken about, may have, in a way, required them to have to take off their mask in order to make things better in the connection. And that could have been something very difficult here for this person. They've come to realize that there's a part of them, Capricorn, that they wish they could go back and turn the hands of time and show you how much love they may either still have. And I'm also getting respect, that they respected the challenge, even if at the time they weren't able to accept it. Look at that, the Sun card. Yeah, they're in a happier place now. They're in a place where they've been able to achieve or at least find some type of resolution or healing in the things that may have been seen in the connection between you, Capricorn, and them. The Sun card, again, there's a sense of illumination here and clarity that either you may have brought to the connection or that they realized after all was said and done, after there was this breakup, separation, or divorce, where they had to deal with these issues here. You know what I mean? So that's how the Sun card is coming out. They also have here Three of Pentacles. What did I say? This person has come to realize that if they were to see you now, or, especially if this is something that, happened in the past or recent past, this breakup, separation, or divorce, this is talking about this person being in a new stage in their life, that there's a sense of accomplishment, achievement. They see things from a different perspective. There's a lot more optimism in their life, and they're more open to being a team player, or putting the effort as a team, or working together. Like I said, there's a sense that this person has come to realize that they wish that they could reconnect with you, because it's as if this person is very different, or there's been major or drastic changes for the better for them. And it's as if they wish that they can talk to you about it, or fill you in on it, or get back together, or try to, I don't know, maybe be friends, maybe connect or reconnect, so that you're able to see that things are different, that the connection, they're a different person, that they may have outgrown or healed from these situations, circumstances, or events from the past or recent past. But it's coming up as a very beautiful type of realization now that all has been said and done. And there's a lot of optimism here. So there could have been a very big, very big shift or circle here. There could be a 360 here, a really big turnaround for this person. And although the Wheel of Fortune isn't here, which gives me this energy of this spin, the fact that I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune card intuitively is telling me that there may have been a lot of good luck, a lot of expansion here for this person, a lot of growth, but it's because of, this transformative type of energy that they may have endured through the breakup, separation, or divorce here. In the past or recent past. Capricorn, I hope that these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and continue to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, be part of the Lexa Tarot community. That gives you an opportunity to also take part in the lives that I do a few times a week. So make sure you turn on your notification bell or notification alerts, because the spots get filled very, very quickly. That being said, I hope these messages have resonated for you, Capricorn, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.